Welcome everybody. I'm trying my mic out in different areas of the house. Hello everybody. I'm back to my old computer. Well, it's not my old computer. I'm back to my own computer. Can you hear me okay, guys? Oh, Uncle Danny's just put a video out. I'm going to quickly click the notification because that'll help him. If you click that notification within a couple of minutes, you'll get the algorithm. Welcome everybody. 2 minutes to try and click on. Oh, I haven't lost it. It's no matter. Oh, mute that. Okay. Let me mute that. Get back to where I am. I'm lost with this computer, guys. I forget how to use it. I'm not used to my other one. Are you hearing me okay? Welcome everybody. I hope Dobby's not went away. I think poor Dobby get fed up waiting on me. I'm more assist. Thanks everybody that came into Shadowhunters UK's live with me. I always like to go in and moderate for them all because it's an honour to moderate for them. They've got such amazing channel, guys. Welcome, Stefan. Welcome, Sister, Mystical Love and Light. Guys, we know our name. Let me see if I can say it correctly. Rachel. Mystical Love and Light. I've got all my sisters here. I've got Dobby. I've got Amora. I've got Thea. I've got yous all, guys, all my witchy sisters. We've also got Leanne. We've got Panjack. We've got Stefan. Welcome, everybody. We've got our amazing thinking of others, guys. Welcome in, everybody. I'm going up the list. Hey, sis, I got to make coffee. Go make coffee then, sis. It's okay. Go make coffee. Hey, sis, I go make coffee and we'll be here a little bit before bed and have to drive hub to work. Okay, sis, no problem. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, welcome, Leah. Welcome, everybody. Yeah. I like to moderate for Amy and that because she doesn't pick a lot of moderators and things for her channel, guys. I think she's just the type of person that likes to just be like me. I mod yous all because yous are my friends. She doesn't get a lot of hate. I can honestly say I've never seen her troll on her channel yet. I like to share the links in that for them. Usually, if she's up with like Moxley or whoever she's up with, they always have a different version of the video. So I like to share their link throughout the video so that people know to keep an eye out for their version. You can hear me good? Oh, that's good then. I will get my own computer, a new one. It's just that the works computer, I can't keep using it, guys. I would get into trouble. I'm just not going to keep using it at all. I'll go back. I'll use this one. So welcome in, everybody. Yes. So remember a couple of weeks ago we were talking. When I grab an ashtray, you know I like to have a cigarette. Grab the ashtray. I think I'll bring the wee lamp over. See if that maybe make it lighter for us. Wait till I grab the lamp. I'll grab the lamp, guys, and see if this will make a difference. I'm so unorganised. The reason I'm unorganised is because we all sit upstairs. We all sit in our own individual little spaces. I dropped my lighter. Typical. Right, let's plug this lamp in and see if we can get a little more light on the situation. Heck, it is okay if I light that there. Sit that there, I should say. Thank you. That's a lot better, isn't it, guys? We'll use that light. instead of the wee light. That's far better, isn't it? Oh, you can see my skeleton better. You can actually see my skeleton. That'll be the view when I do change it. Right, okay, get off a subject like this. I forgot the ashtray. Right, let's get off the subject of stupid bloody lights. Just open my beanbag. I like to be comfy, guys. You know me, I like my home comforts. Right, my butt needs to go. Right, okay, I can't set my ashtray on the altar. That'd be very disrespectful. I do apologise, guys. It's smoking. It's not COVID. Right, okay, let me light some incense. You know me, I've got to have the incense a-rolling. The incense a-rolling and a-smoking. Oh, it's lovely. It's white sage, guys, tonight, okay? A lot of negative vibes around. We need all the white sage we can get in this world. I don't think there's enough white sage in the world to totally cleanse it. Right, okay, let's get on to tonight's subject anyway. Right, so a couple of weeks ago and things I was telling, what did we do a couple of weeks ago? It was Bobby Mackey's. So a couple of weeks ago we were talking about Bobby Mackey's and things. So as you know, I muck about. Usually if the computers or the phones are quiet, I tend to just go into Google and have a wee nosy around, read a couple of articles here and there, and just kind of do a wee bit of research. So as you know, I always just look at haunted stuff, usually. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, thinking. Thank you to Stefan, sorry. So I got to thinking and I got to kind of just thinking about different locations. And if you notice, around Britain, especially 30 East Drive in the ancient Ram Inn, a lot of these energies for years ago, and it's much like mirroring Bobby Mackey's, really. A lot of these places years ago were haunted with so-called demons or whatever you want to call them, like bad spirits, evil spirits, twisted souls, whatever. Okay, negative energies, let's say, right? So it tends to be that way back in the 70s, 80s, all these places came to our attention because of something major that had happened that made the newspapers, basically, okay? So with 30 East Drive and Ancient Ramen and things, they were a kind of spin-off when I think the film was called When the Lights Went Out, wasn't it? So when that film and that all hit after it, that's when the interest peaked. But if you stayed in Britain in the 70s, I remember these different articles hitting the newspaper away back then. And I got to thinking about when, I know I'm jumping around here, guys, but I have got a point at all. I noticed that when Ghost Adventures and things came and did the Ancient Ramen, that's when the activity and things totally swooped right up. Now think about it, guys. They went to Bobby Mackey's and things before they came over here. So what's to say that whatever was there in the 70s haunting these locations had a plan all along? And it's came true. All these ghost hunters that has now been in all these different places have now went across the waters and came here. Who's to say there's not an energy that had that as a plan all along? If you think about when Katrina and Nick went to 30 East Drive, think about everything that happened to them. They even felt as if there was a connection to some of these demonic entities that know what they're doing. And if you think about it, guys, it's really, really interesting. I'm going to play an interview that is a Carol. Carol is the neighbour next door to 30 East Drive that holds the keys, if you like. I'm going to play that interview and listen to what she says about the place, about how it all started and things. In fact, I'll read the article out to you first that I've got here, and then I'll let you hear Carol's version of it, right? Just let me find it and then I'll share my screen with you. It's really interesting how a lot of these places have got the same type of entities in them way back when all the hauntings first hit the newspapers. And as the years have went on, it seems as if all those entities have left, and now there's multiple ghosts, spirits, twisted souls, whatever you want it to be. It's not the original hauntings in a lot of these locations. I think there's some sort of energy, demon, whatever you want to call it, out there that has had some sort of plan, maybe all along, and this has been what it is to draw in these people through the ghost hunting and to get a lot of these lost souls that follow us around. I mean, a lot of us ghost hunters and paranormal investigators have got our own spirits attached to us anyway, and we usually learn to deal with them. But who's to say if we ever go to any of these locations that those spirits are ever going to leave with us? There could be energies in there that's just stopping them from doing what they want to do, and it's drawing all us investigators in, and we're investigating these places with our spirits going with us. And the energy's changing in the places, guys. If you watch a lot of people's videos, like I did with Bobby Mackey's a way back, then the gap, and then now, the spirits are rolling on in, and they're forever changing. That's crazy to me. Most locations, if a spirit is going to haunt it, the spirit will stay there until it moves on, of course, if it wants to move on. But a lot of these locations tend to be spirits, multiple spirits turning over all the time. That's no natural, guys, on these locations. It seems to me as if there's actually an entity of some kind that has originally been there to draw in any lost souls, any spirits that may be attached to people, good or bad. It's a very interesting theory. And if you notice, a lot of these places have ley lines going under them. And there's also wells close by. Most of these, and 30 East Drive's got a well under it. And I'll read you the article, guys, right? And then I'll get your feedback on it. Let me quickly get it up. And I'll get your feedback on what you all think about 30 East Drive. Now, let me just get it up. Okay, let me share my screen with you, and then it gives you something to look at as well. Not just my ugly mug. Right, let me share screen. Right, Chrome. Where are we? I think it's the Windows one we use, is it? Is it Chrome? Ah, it's Chrome. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, that's not right. That's that podcast thing. Oh, I didn't mean to share that to that podcast place. I think we're maybe now live on my podcast channel, guys. I don't know. I was trying to figure it out. Right, we'll go to East Drive. Where is it? There it's... Where did it disappear? It's disappeared. Wait a minute. I'll find it, guys. It's okay, don't worry. Where did I put it? Is that it? I've kind of lost it. Oh no, that was the other one. I don't want that one. So we'll quickly go through them all. There it's there. It's the Higgy Pop interview. Let me see if you make sure you can see that. If you've not seen it, guys, that's okay. Wait, I'll get it up for you. Share screen. Windows. That's Chrome. When is it? That one, yeah. Right, okay, let me read a bit about it, right, to you. I hope you can see that. Okay, let me quickly just check. Right, okay, let me give you the big screen, guys. Right, there's the big screen for you as well, and then you can read what I'm reading. It's very interesting, I think. Then I'll play you the interview with Carol, okay? Carol's the person, as I said, that holds the keys to next door. Right, okay, let me just read it. I think we're actually going up the rendering instead of down. Sweeping it out, is that not playing? Take it down the history, guys. It's got to be there somewhere. I think this is it. I can't believe that's disappeared. I don't know why I'm going to have to fund it to do it this way again, but that's okay. We'll do it. I found it through Yahoo. It's actually really interesting though. I mean, these places really do intrigue me. I always think, why are they so... It's home, son. It's Leo, man. I always think, why are they so haunted? Oh, that's something chucked in the door. It's as if that there's something there. Don't swear. It's as if there's something there. There's a Pacific article that I read. Right, with them. Uh-huh. Right, okay, let me read this one, and that's just for quickness. Okay. Said to be one of the most haunted houses in Europe, 30 East Drive in the small Yorkshire town of Pontefract is certainly one of the better documented, perhaps with only the Enfield hauntings rivaling it. Maybe no one so than in 2012 when the movie When the Lights Went Out hit the viewing public. Although the finer details are subject to artistic license, the essence and events of the story were not. What made the film even more intriguing is that its director is a relative to those strange but real events. Pat Holden's Auntie Jean was very much in the eye of the storm. She was witness to many of the paranormal incidents as they unfolded around her family. The property seemingly experienced several chilling moments while filming for the movie took place. Reports of strange noises uh, surfaced from within the walls of number 30, despite the property being empty. Such was the belief, and for some, the memories of the events so strong that these people were worried that activity around the film and in turn interest in the events was stirring whatever the entity was back into action. Holden told a local newspaper at the time of the film's release, "One thing I have never questioned about is its authenticity. It's an interesting topic for a film because it's such an extraordinary thing that happened to such ordinary people in such an ordinary place. Many people experienced it firsthand. You can watch the film, guys, when the lights went out, right? I'm not going to play it, obviously, okay? In the film, the events revolve around Sally Maynard, the younger daughter of Jenny and Lee Maynard. In reality, the strange encounters involve Jean and Joe Pitchard and their two children, 15-year-old Philip and 12-year-old Diane. As events progressed and heightened, the activity seemed to zero in on the youngest daughter. The events began early on in 1966. They were simple and mischievous at first. Furniture would move from one place to another, or lights would flicker on and off. As the months went by, however, the activity turned strange and more frightening. Pools of water formed out of nowhere on the carpet, or the living room, or the kitchen. Strange breathing sounds were clearly audible, as if someone was standing right next to them. Even the apparent physical manifestation of a black figure began to appear more regularly. As you might expect, the family endured much mocking from the community, although independent witnesses did report seeing strange activity. These included a policeman, the local vicar, and even the constituency MP. escalating events. The family attempted to persevere in the property to begin with, even appearing to succeed for a time. However, try as they might, the activity got steadily worse and more intense. As the end of the summer signalled it in late August 1966, the family were glad to get away to Devon for reasons unknown. Philip opted to stay at home, and his grandmother Sarah Schultz watched over him. The weather was undoubtedly hot, even for the time of year. However, both Philip and Scholes were feeling chilly, cold blasts of air washing over them. Already unnerved when Scholes and her grandson saw what seemed to be white powder fall to the ground from out of nowhere, it was enough to convince her to leave the property. Taking Philip with her, Scholes rushed down the street to her daughter's house, Marie Kelly. The three of them returned to number 30. The powder still sat there coating the floor. Pools of water began to form again from out of nowhere. Around them where they stood. After gathering their senses, they had the water board come to investigate. Try as they might, they found no evidence of a leak on the property or anywhere on the street. Lightning Peak. By 7 in the evening, only two of them remained in the house. As Schultz watched television, she heard Philip call from the kitchen. She ran into the room, seeing the chaos of tea leaves and sugar all over the kitchen work surface. The tea dispenser began to bang that suddenly began to spray the area with tea. Both Philip and his grandmother could clearly see the on off switch on the machine switching back and forth. The movement prompted as if an invisible hand. As her at her wits' end, Shoal screamed, "Stop it!" as loud as she desperately as she could. A loud bang from the hallway sounded, and then silence descended. As Schultz went to inspect the hallway, the light came on its own accord. A sideboard containing crockery and plates began to shake violently, causing the crockery to rattle loudly. Marie Kelly again came to her mother's aid and saw for herself the rattling sideboard and general chaos and commotion. The activity began to calm, and the two adults agreed to speak in the morning after a good night's sleep. When Philip's bedroom drawers began to sway back and forth in his room, they changed their minds. Both he and his grandmother left the property as fast as they could. They would spend the night at the neighbour of the Pitchards and wait their return the following morning. God, there you go. Vengeful return and sudden stop. Following the frightful night that Philip, his grandmother, and his aunt all witnessed, life appeared to return to normal. In fact, 2 years went by without no out of ordinary incidents at all. Then all of a sudden they returned, and they seemed to have returned with a vengeance. The activity now seemed to become far more intense, especially whenever guests arrived at the Pitcher's house. Loud banging noises would sound through the house, while objects would fly through the air with no warning. The Pritchard family even invited a family friend to their home in an effort that they perform an exorcism. The entity seemed to respond to this directly as the exorcist sprayed holy water throughout the family home. Upside down crosses appeared on the walls. Despite all the family witnessing the strange events and the shadowy figure who they called Fred, it was Diane who would attract the most intense activity. An invisible force would throw her out of her bed regularly. Her body would also show bruising where she had been in the grip of seemingly invisible hands. The final straw arrived when Diane had an unseen hand grab her by the throat, dragging her up the stairs. When she managed to free herself, visible markings were present around her neck. After the final assault, the activity simply ceased. Although never able to believe the strange events had stopped for good, the Pritchard family never experienced anything unusual again. The video below is a recent paranormal investigation into the property. Look, guys, it's our Tom. It's haunted finders, and I didn't even know that. No one knows for sure who or what was responsible for the strange activity at 30th Drive. Many believe, however, a ghostly figure known locally as the Black Monk of Pontefract to be behind the events. The Black Monk lived sometime in the 16th century, in and around the area of East Drive Estate, where the Black Monk lives sometime in the 16th century in and around the area the East Drive estate stands today. He had been found guilty of the rape and murder of a young girl and sentenced to death. He was hung for his crimes. The gallows where he has the gallows where he met his end once stood exactly where 30 East Drive now stands. In 2015, the property was in the middle of controversy when TV's Most Haunted Live stated they would broadcast live from the house on Halloween. While crowds gathered outside in the dark, cold October night, many more tuned in at home. As one of them most haunted crew came down the stairs, Carol, something began to drag him backwards. As you might expect, the presenter made much of this. Eagle-eyed viewers at home, however, studied the scene constantly before declaring less than 24 hours later the incident was fake. It most certainly was. A rope is clearly visible in the shot of Carol's neck being dragged from behind. You can view the clip below and see what you think. The scene was largely seen as embarrassing for the show, and criticism would come from all platforms. Shows you guys, I told you they're fake. There have been other investigations and television shows made regarding the haunting. Many people even claim they have captured the shadow figure as the Black Monk in photographs. The property is even available to the public for tours, as well as events and serious investigations. Whatever the cause of the disturbances, they were very real. Of that there is no doubt. Whether or not the presence still resides there today is another matter. That alone will lure many a paranormal investigator to its door. Perhaps the activity will begin again as suddenly as it stopped almost a half century ago. Or maybe it's something more connected to the pictures it's themselves and were a once in a lifetime occurrence. Check out the video below of many such investigators already conducted in it, guys. Right, we all know that Haunted Finder's done. I can't believe that was Tom there. But it was the Tom's video I was going to show you guys. Wait to come back to you. Okay, let me just take that off. Let me come back to you. Stop sharing. Right, you see, so what you all saying, guys? Welcome everyone. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Kathy. Thank you. So basically what I'm trying to say to you guys is, if you notice the pattern with a lot of these haunted locations, it's as if there's something in there, please. No, you want to see me, I've no makeup or anything. No. It's as if there is something that originally resides in these places. And then they seem to drag in a lot of different investigators and then the activity all changes. Has any of yours got a theory about why a place can be so haunted and then just suddenly stop? To me, the witch and the investigator side of me says maybe that's it achieved its purpose. It's maybe established the route into the community through the tragedy that happened all over that land. And because people have now took an interest in it, it's got endless feeding. If it is a demon, it's got endless souls to feed off of now. If it's a twisted soul, then it's just going to do what it likes. It's going to mess with the ones it wants to mess with, not mess with the ones that can call it out. You know, it's just a very interesting theory, guys, that much like Bobby Mackey's and things, where these entities all originate from a well. I mean, the ley lines as well, that's a totally different story as well with the ley lines. But it's as if there's something that maybe, well, obviously we've always said all along that spirits and things know your first move before you even think you're going to do it. So a lot of the times these spirits will know when the people that can be messed with is going, when the people that's easy possessed will be going. So the established investigator that goes to these places might not get a lot of activity anymore because that's not its purpose. Its purpose is to get people in that's naive and reap them in. It would be interesting to see. I tried to find a lot of investigations recently of people doing it 30s Drive, but there's not really many credible ones out there, guys. Haunted Finders and that done it a couple of years back. Amy's one was interesting, nowhere. Amy was looking in the mirror. I don't even think it was Amy's footage. I think it was Moxley's or something, if I remember correctly. But she looked in the mirror, just a fleeting glance. And if Amy or that's in, they'll tell you. A lot of them's for Amy's community. Just a fleeting glance in the mirror, and her full face changed. So that's interesting. To me, that's a warning. That is a warning. Like, do you really know what's here? You know, and it's up to you. I mean, I don't think Amy and that seen it until it was too late. I think it was probably the end of the night or something. But that is also interesting. It's as if they're giving a lot of different little warnings to the people that know, look, don't mess with us. And I think that's what it was when Amy's face changed. It was a look, these are going too far. Because I think it's as if the spirits in there know that they were established investigators, knew that the activity and things that they could get potentially could call the spirit out. So it's as if they changed the look in Amy's face as a warning to all the other investigators that they're not liking the line of questioning that they're going down. Welcome everybody. Oh, there's Amy in just now. I was just talking about you, Amy, when your face changed at 30s Drive. It's as if the spirits were giving you all a warning. Like, look, this is what could happen type of thing. A lot of these locations, the Americans ones especially, I know there's a lot more focus on the American ones because in America there's a lot more investigators, guys. That's just the way it is. But the American ones, especially Bobby Mackey's, think about it, guys. They've got an endless feeding pit. The amount of people that goes to Bobby Mackey's, it would be so interesting to see if they would do a spirit box and things before they went into a place. Maybe even got a couple of names and things before they went in, and then see if they come out with the same spirits around them. Because I really do think these places are a feeding ground, and I think a lot of investigators that are sensitive and also, it was scary, Amy, I know. Your face totally changed. Oh no. It's as if it's like a warning to people. I mean, especially Bobby Mackey's. Bobby Mackey's is really interesting to me because think about it, it's actually a club. A lot of people go there to listen to the music, to just to get the atmosphere of a bar. So think about the amount of the fights. Think about the amount of turmoil these spirits could still cause to this day in these places. It's crazy to me. I think there will be more investigators go to these places and get really crazy activity. As I was saying to Amy when I interviewed her, 30s Drive, I would love to go to there. Take everything out it, all the furniture out, or maybe not all it out, enough to get the message across to the spirits. I'm moving in, just to see how they would react. I mean, if you drew up there, okay, with a big moving truck, started taking the furniture out of 30s Drive and moving your furniture in, the spirits would be like, what's going on? It would be so interesting just to see the reaction, you know? Obviously, you would have to organise it with the... Right enough, but the spirits know your move before you do it. So the spirits would know what I was up to. So that's interesting. It would be interesting to see how they would react, though, wouldn't it? I mean, if you rolled up there with a big moving truck, started taking out all their furniture, it would be funny to see how they would react. Welcome in, Thea. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, Kathy. Welcome, Thinking of Others. Welcome, Colin. Welcome, Kathy. Thank you for coming. I'm really happy you subscribed to me. See, whenever I get a new subscriber, guys, I feel as if I've just had a birth in the family. I feel as if I've just had a new wee grandkid or something. I just love meeting new people and finding out their opinions and things. I'm going to play you a clip of Carol's interview, okay? 30s Drive. I'm not sure how long ago this one was, but it's interesting to hear Carol's version of what all still happens in the house. I'll quickly share the screen and I'll show you it. I'll share that with you as well. It's really interesting. And I'll get the Chrome back up. It's just interesting to see what she actually. That's an ancient Armand written about as an interview. Oh, there it's there. I think this is it. Yeah. It's interesting to hear what Carol all says about the area. Sorry, no, the area about the house. It really is quite interesting. We'll watch this, guys, and then we'll talk, right?
Right. And then she had an old-fashioned tea caddy on the wall, and every time she put a tea in.
Well, Carol, good evening. Thanks very much for hosting us tonight.
You're welcome.
Here at 30 East Drive, Pontefract. Obviously, you've lived next door to your neighbours here for many, many years. Can you just tell us a brief history of the house and give us your insight on things that happened?
What brief history of house?
I'm trying to find it, guys, so I can put the big screen up for you.
Built in 50s. The lady I know was Aunt May got the house next door, and this house, someone else got it. They wouldn't give Jean it. And 18 months later, she saw the lady at the house.
I'll just put it on the big screen for you guys. Sorry for mucking about. Okay, 2 seconds. Sorry.
Neighbours here for many, many years. Can you just tell us a brief history of the house and give us your insight on things that have happened?
What brief history of the house is, it was almost 12 years on the estate to be built in the 50s. The lady I know was Aunt May got the next door, and this house, someone else got it. They wouldn't give Jean it. And 18 months later, she saw the lady at the house and said she liked this house, and the lady says, "I'll stop here, I don't like the house. I feel as if I'm being watched, but nothing else had ever happened." Within weeks of Jean moving in, there were bangings on windows, banging on doors, and they blamed the eldest son because his father and him didn't get on at all. And Joe were a minor and they liked a pint, and his son didn't grow up like that. He's now married to his husband, so Joe blamed Jean for it all. And it was only when they went on holiday and left Philip at home at 15 with his grandmother, that dust started falling in this very room. And his grandma was knitting, and she shouts, "Philip, what are you messing with?" And he says, "Nothing, Grandma, and you come to these double doors here, and it will fall in waist down with the dust." Didn't know what it was, thought maybe it was Artex because it had just been done. And then within weeks, there were pools of water on the kitchen floor. Jean fetched council in, and council dug the floor up to see if there were any burst pipes. There were nothing.
So they had to do the physical investigation.
Yeah, they did everything, and there was nothing. Round about the same time, floor went up in the house I live in. It didn't go down, it came up with floorboards. Council removed them, they went down, very steep drop underneath, about 8 foot. And they discovered a well, which the central wall is built on top of. There's big capping stones above it. And then they come in and put meshing around, put all rubble in, and then they cemented my floors. But this one is still wood.
Right.
And then she had an old-fashioned tea caddy on the wall, and every time she put a tea in, it was dispersed onto the top of the surface. Of course, Philip got blamed for that as well. Everything he got blamed for. Until one day, Joe went into a coal house because he was a miner, went to get some coal, and his NCB jacket was stuck in the coal. And as he grabbed it out, he shouts, "Philip, I'm going to kill you." And the door slammed shut. He came out a different man. He wanted out of this house. He knew it was Philip. Philip went in the house. He actually went and got another house, and Jean wouldn't move. No, I'm not moving. A sister-in-law, or a sister, or whoever, was she did a bit of medium work, read tea leaves and things, or whatever it was. She come in, and things just got worse. Jean went upstairs one day, and bees were in wardrobe, a shortened wardrobe, and black flies have been all over. Grandmother clock at top upstairs. Aunt May and her grandson came running round, and he's witnessed a lot of things, and he saw this clock come downstairs. He was about 7, 8 years old when it happened, and he come down. He's coming with his grandma. There's been pot plants flying about. There's been things moving. She fetched priests in with her being Catholic, and they wouldn't do anything. And so the vicar of All Saints Church at Pontefract come in, Reverend Fawkes, and he sat on a chair, and Jean were on settee, and he's telling her that the Church of England faith don't believe in anything like this. There's 2 candlesticks come off the end of them shelves there and stood in front of him, and she goes, and you're telling me that's trickery? And he got up and he run through the door, and he never come back to this house. He wouldn't come back. The things just got worse. To this day, I sit in my house next door. There's banging. You'd think there's somebody who hammering walls down. It's just that bad. For 4 years, I didn't know Jean had moved. We ate telly, we ate bangings, you name it, just as if someone lived in here. And I went to the shop one day, and as I come up, I felt like we're actually cutting lawn. And I asked him for a word, and I says, does your nephews live in the house now? He goes, no, why? His nephews are deaf. So when they did stop, television was running out. And in our house, the noise from here would sound louder than mine.
Sorry guys, does it?
No, there's got to be. He goes, no. You see, my mother moved out of this house 4 years ago. Nobody lives in this house. The house is totally empty. And it was.
Hi, Mrs. I'm live.
What is the banging? What do we hear next door? Yesterday, I've got a wall unit in the far corner. My stairwell is open to stairs. And at the back of the wall unit, there was banging in this house. It was that bad that me and a friend had to come round and check there was nobody in. It was so bad. I've even had the police. My grandson and his son's ex-girlfriend had been to the shop walking past about 5, 6 o'clock in winter time. And my grandson saw blue lights at the bottom of the stairs. And he says, what's that? What's that, Tony? She goes, oh, it's your nanny. She'll be in with somebody. So she walks in and she went, what are you doing there? I was with you, and I was in next door, there was nobody. So they told me what happened, and I said, well, I'm going to have to check because there's a big telly in the house, which was in the back bedroom. And she come round with me, and as we opened the door, I always say as I'm coming in, either in my head or out loud, hello, Fred, it's only me. And she come in first, and she goes, it's only me, Fred. And as she opened the kitchen door, we know about backdraft and everything else, no doors, no windows open. She opened the back door, and I just put lights on, don't really dark, put lights on. And then we walked into the kitchen and there were a big bang in the bedroom as if the television had been dropped on the floor. So at that point, my partner come running round, had a look, nobody downstairs, and I said, well, I'm not going upstairs to check if it is anybody. Nobody could get in, windows, so I fetched police. 3 police cars, blues and twos on. These big 6-foot coppers got out, all stood in garden. I'm in my 19 dressing, well, my pyjamas and my dressing gown, and it was raining. And I was almost going in. We're waiting for a dog. I goes, what do you mean, wait for a dog? Well, we're just waiting for a dog. I goes, well, there's 5 of you, why can't you go in? Well, where's the dog? Well, we don't know. I goes, what do you mean you don't know? I said, I'll put your lights on, shall I? And I come in and I put lights on. And they're all in the kitchen, like, walking up and down, like, oh, we're in this house. And then I goes, well, who's going upstairs to check? And I wish I'd have videoed them to like Keystone Cops. We took up lights on the bottom of the stairs for them, and they were arguing. I know they were going up these stairs. And they were all bum to bum running upstairs. Exactly 2 seconds, and they come running back down, running out into the garden. So I went, do I call you again? They just don't bother calling us, and went. And they've never been back. They won't come back into this house. But you tell us what all the noise is. We hear children in here. No children are allowed in here under 16. You can sit in here and you think, oh, it's nothing. Then hairs will go up on your hands. And then you've got a pressure on your head. What is it? I can't prove to you what it is. I know what it is, but I can't prove to people. Then you'll be sat there and your leg will go freezing cold and something will go weight down on you. Oh, what's that? You know what I mean? But you can't see it, so it can't be proved.
What's the most interesting thing that's happened to you in over the years, we say, in this house?
I've only been coming in here for the past 45 years since Bill's bought this house. And the most interesting thing, where do I start?
Where's the start? There's that much
I've
goes
been
on,
sat on
guys.
bedroom floor before furniture come in with a group of people, and the door opened, and this little black thing
My
bobbled into
hatchet.
bedroom. They all witnessed it. This boy that had, I mean, he was 6 foot something, and he'd been in, and he couldn't understand what had happened to him. And he come back for 5 nights running, and he was sat there, and he says, someone's touching my foot, and this gentleman put his camera up so we could see, and there was a big ball of light, bright blue light on top of his tree. He got big feet, and we were all like watching it. What was that? And it just circled up, went into the ceiling. Now that was good. That was very good. And then the back bedroom, we had the cupboard door, because it creaks, we had that open. All the people were in that bedroom with me. We were downstairs, I'll tell you what, it took us 5 seconds. I slid down on my bum with my pad, and we come into the room, and we were all,
I think I would go with my butt as
what
well.
was it? You know, what was it? And then we heard footsteps. And believe me, when you hear footsteps, you'll count them, because everybody does that. Even I were doing it. 1, 2. By the time it got to the bottom of the step, we were out through that door. The young lad that used to come in with me, a good friend of the family, I threw a key at him, and he locked the door, and we got out to the gate, and the door was rattling, and I says to this lad, you've left one in, you've go let him out. And these lads went, well, we're all here, there's nobody else in the house. What was it? Don't know.
Well, thanks very much, Carol.
You're welcome.
I'll get back to you guys. So that's interesting, that her point of view as well on the place. I mean, that backs up a lot of the theories that article said that I was telling you about, that read out in the article. So it's interesting to see how a lot of these activities centre around where the well and things was. So I do think there's something to that theory, guys, that there was something originally there that's came up, probably fae hell, for the purpose. I mean, we all know that spirits know everything that's going to happen before we do. So to me, getting the logical head on, thinking about these things, I always come back to the conclusion that it was meant to be this way with these spirits. It's as if these entities, demons, whatever you want to call them, have originally went to these areas through being summoned through the events of the area, the history of the land, the energies that link together to conjure something else. I feel as if that has been the purpose all along, and they have achieved what they wanted. They've achieved all these teams of people going in. I mean, you hear Carol yourself. I've watched a few Teams Day 8:30s drive, and a lot of them fortunately managed to get an interview with her. And a lot of the times she'll tell you herself that the not every team will get activity. It seems to pick on certain types of people, and I think that's for a reason. I think these entities can sense something in people. It could even be from a past life. It could be for a purpose they're trying to stop, that they know that person is going to do. And that is why a lot of these possessions and oppressions and things happen, is because these entities know the thing that is in each individual person. And they have to get, you think about it, if somebody goes into these places, or they know somebody's going into these places that potentially has the power to not get rid of the entity, because half the time these entities can't be removed, they can be blocked out. If they leave the place and you manage to get in there, it's all to do with timing. But a lot of these spirits and these entities know, or want, I should say, a specific type of person to possess, to oppress, to take over. And a lot of the time it's because they know that these entities, these people, such as myself, Amy and things, have got the power, or know people that's got the power to interrupt their missions. And that is why a lot of the time the entities will just go in there, do something really scary, and people will run out. If you're a tougher investigator, such as Amy and things are, and you don't scare easily, most of the time they'll just go quiet. They'll just go quiet and they'll know you're going to leave within a certain amount of time. They're no silly. Or they'll, if they're in the mood, they'll play with you. Or they'll give you what you want just so you leave quickly. Because that is not their higher purpose. Their higher purpose in these areas is to capture souls. So if you're not the type of soul, or you've not got a soul attached to you, such as a wee sweet granny, a wee old auntie that was kind, if you've not got that entity, if you've not got that being intrigued at what's attached to you or what's in your soul, they'll leave you alone because they know they've got a higher purpose. But if a person walks in there that has got the traits that they want, they have got things attached to them they maybe need for their next purpose, or they've got something attached to them that they know potentially could harm them. It could also whatever. So that is the people that's going to get the activity. That's the people that is going to start getting touched, feeling as if something's messing with them in the cellar and things, because that's the type of person that they're trying to get a rise out of in order to capture that emotion, that fear factor that keeps feeding these entities. That is why a lot of these places, they'll just leave people alone. They want that person that's going to be scared. They want that person that's going to be easy to possess, to oppress. Hi, three souls. That's what they're looking for in these places like 30s Drive, Bobby Mackey's and things. They're looking for a specific character, much like Jeepers Creepers, okay? Think about it that way. In the film Jeepers Creepers, that entity wanted that boy's eyes. So it's much like that, guys. A lot of these higher beings, these lower vibration beings, even if you want to call them that, depending on the way you look at demonic entities and things, a lot of them have got that Jeepers Creepers attitude. And I know it's scary, guys, but it's the truth. They see a certain thing in people, and that is what they'll pick on. A lot of the time, I know as well, when there's a well and there's ley lines, remember, good entities can come through them as well. So if you ever find yourself in a position where you feel as if that entity or entities are attacking you, and you know for a fact you're in a place that's got ley lines, it's got that well and everything, remember, good entities can come through there just as quick as bad entities, okay? So always call upon your guides. If you go into a place and you know, I mean, guys, I'm the first to tell you, I've not been out in many inside investigations. In fact, I've not one Catlin Bridge Hotel. All the investigations and things I've been out on, except for my home and the Robin Hood experience with Haunted Finders, has all been outside. That is why a lot of the times I'm amazed that the woods are haunted. It's bad because I've only ever felt good vibrations in the woods. I know, Shadow, I know, Amy, it scares me as well, but that's the truth. It's a certain thing in people that these entities are looking for. That's why not everybody gets activity. And I think it's got a lot to do with the land. See, if the land has had a lot of activity on it before people start to build on it and things, they're asking for trouble. They really, really are. What are you saying, our Hatchie? Drew, me and Dobie's, me and the Budsville have been on strange ones since last Thursday. Our caravan has, oh, female energy that surrounds us. We're out at the shed. Oh, I'll need to email you, Hatchie. We need to get a chat. We need to get a quick catch up. I'm off all week, guys, anyway, so there's technical problems at work, so we've all got the week off. Yeah, See, that's another thing, Dobie. Remember when we went to the Robin Hood experience? Now, to let you understand, right, Dobie does have health conditions, but I didn't know Dobie at the time when she went to the Robin Hood experience. And when I seen her get collapse, basically we were walking up the stairs or we were walking down the stairs, and Tom and Dave were behind us, I think. And Dobie just fell. She just downed. And I'm thinking, what the hell happened there? And then we got a rally doing and things, and she wanted to go back to the hotel. So Dave and Tom drove you to the hotel, didn't they? They drove you down. So she went away back to the hotel, and the night just progressed the way it progressed, guys. I mean, I thought about her, and I think I phoned you and things as well. But it wasn't until I really got back to the hotel and I started thinking about it. I was like, what happened to that woman? What happened to wee Linda? And then I thought, is she sensitive? Is she the type of person that spirits, much like my friend Michelle, if there's a lot of spirits around, Michelle's sick. She's violently sick if there's a lot of entities around. I think she can handle one or two now, and she's starting to realise through going out as much to just tell yourself it's the spirits, and don't panic. But I think because I didn't know Dobie at the time, and also Dobie was just starting to really come into form with spirituality and try and connect. It wasn't until after the investigation that we all got home and things as well, and me and Dobie started talking, and I asked her, are you sensitive to energies? Because to me it looked as if she hit a brick wall of energy. Do you remember when I went to Wallace Monument a couple of weeks ago, and I went up the stairs and I just about turned and came back down? It's like a brick wall, guys. If you've never experienced it, it's hard to explain, but it's like a brick wall of energy. And you either can handle it or you can't. And I couldn't handle it, and I went straight back down. Dobie that time just hit the floor. Michelle, she's just sick. It depends on each individual person how you handle that energy. Oh, you've been having activity at home again, Amy. So it's really just about how you handle that energy. So when Dobie did collapse like that, and we did go thinking about it and talking about it, I think that's what happened, is she's ran into that energy. At the Robin Hood experience, there is supposed to be a lot of energies up on that top floor. I did turn the spirit box and things on. I think it's on my channel a way back 4 years ago. If you want to see it, it's under the Robin Hood experience, I think. But I did feel, and I wasn't sensitive at all way back then. It's only just I started going out more, doing more of these, coming towards my spirituality more of the witchcraft and things, that I'm more coming sensitive. But back then I wasn't as sensitive. And I think if I was more sensitive back then, I'd have pushed it more up in that top floor, whereas I didn't do it. But I think now, because I can feel the energies around me more, I'd have pushed it till I felt the energies come out. But it's Dave drove you home, right? But it's interesting to see. It's just an interesting theory, guys, that I wanted to put out to you. Think about it. When you are watching these places on YouTube, on normal telly and things, and if you are going out to the place yourself, think about it. Have a really good research to see if there's water close by. See if those ley lines are near. Okay? It's just something, an extra thing to research, if you like, to get a more an awareness of what these spirits and things are, guys. I was going to talk about the ancient Ramin as well. We'll talk about that next week, okay? The ancient Ramin's an interesting one as well, and it's much the same. It kind of chooses its victims, if you like. What are you saying, Amy? Amy's saying it's a very interesting place, lots of history in that place. The building has been used for so many different things. See, it's crazy. I mean, that place that Amy and that just did there, guys, go watch it. Honestly, I've shared it on my Facebook and things as well, and it's on my YouTube. Go watch the investigation that Amy and Moxley's just did. We all just came out the premiere of it there. That's how I put the live off for an hour, because I wanted to watch Amy's investigation. Watch it, guys. And watch how people react around different areas of different places, because that also is quite telling. That shows you the good energies, the not so good energies, the places that you have to be aware of searching in case there's bad energies. It's just something for you all to think about, guys, when you are going out investigating, when you are researching places to go do. Think about these things. Think about, could there be a demonic there? What's the activity like? What was the activity in the past? Compare the past activity to nowadays activity. See if it's changed. The Jamaican. There's so many places down in England I'd love to go, guys. I know I'm coming down for a week, not even a week. I think it's 5 days in September. I can come down anytime I want now. Different story. But I'm coming down in September for the 24th to the 26th, I think it is. I'm definitely going to go to Neil Parker's Haunted Antique Shop event. I'm also going to try and meet Dobie and things in Nottingham. I'm going to stay in Nottingham for a couple of days at the Holiday Inn, I think it was called, wasn't it, or something. I'm going to stay there for a couple of days as well. So I will be down in Nottingham area about September, if not before. We'll see what happens, guys. Yeah, Amy will definitely meet up at some point. See, I didn't know. I mean, I don't really know what area of England and things you all stay. I know JK Hauntings, KJ Hauntings, sorry, Kim and Jason. I know that they were saying they're coming down in August and things. I think I'm interviewing them on Tuesday night. Is it Tuesday night? Tuesday night I'm interviewing them on this channel. So I'll ask them then, and maybe we could make it a collab with us all together. We'll see if it's possible, guys. Travel Lodge. We'll see if it's possible, okay, to meet up all at the one time. Because I would love to meet Jason and Kim, honestly. I remember when they first started a way back, and it's been brilliant to watch their journey. For two skeptics that was bored during lockdown to go out to Maggie Murphy's Lane, is it Maggie Murphy's Lane? To go out to and it totally spooked them. Oh, guys, get rid of these bloody things. Mods, take over and get rid of them, would yous? It's actually quite interesting to see how far they've really came. For skeptics to total believers and loving it, guys. They'll absolutely love it. I don't know why I'm not being allowed to block on my own page, guys. Can you mods take care of that dating site thing? It's really just interesting to see how they've came on. I can't wait to talk to the two of them. I've interviewed them 3 times. I think I've interviewed the girl, NK Hauntings. Aye, because I interviewed Jason, Kim, and Elizabeth last time, and we're trying to get Caitlin to come. I want to interview Caitlin. I watch Caitlin's YouTube channel and everything, guys, and her TikTok. She's amazing. Honestly, go subscribe to her as well. She's a kind of vlogging channel. She just vlogs her day, basically, but she's a sweetie. She honestly is. She's a wee sweetheart. Yeah, girl, honestly. So go subscribe to me, Caitlin, guys, honestly, right? So basically, it was just a wee live, guys, tonight, just to push by a few theories to you that I've got. Oh, you can see that space in my teeth quite bad. That's terrible. And I don't sing good, guys, in case you think I'm a good singer. It's just an interesting theory to keep talking to you about. All these different theories I have in my mind, I'm going to eventually get them all out and shoot the breeze with you if you like about them. So it's just interesting, guys, for to get it out there and see your opinion and give you something to think about as well. It's just to give you a wee bit extra things to think about. I know they just keep coming. It's okay. Let them have their fun. You know, whatever kicks their boats. Anyway, guys, it's been really good. It's been a brilliant Sunday night. First, Amy did a premiere, and then it's been a good night tonight with all you guys. So you try to get rid of these things. They're just a pest. Block user. They're just annoying, aren't they? Block user. I'll let them go on with it. So what you all saying, guys? So what do you think? Before we do go, give me a quick roundup of what you think about my theory. Do you think my theory could have something in it? Do you think that these entities maybe did have a bigger plan all along and their plan's now in place? Because if you think about it, guys, it's funny how not everybody gets activity in these locations. The fact that not everybody gets activity shows me, much like Jeepers Creepers, that these spirits are looking for something. These entities are looking for something in people to either scare, go home with. Watch for that as well. Please watch for that as well. These entities could be a kind of gatekeeper to other entities to say, right, come here, you. Right, you spirit, go home with that person. You demon, go home with that person. Be very careful of that type of thing as well, that there's no some sort of gatekeeper, matchmaker type of thing there that knows the type of entity that could attach to each person. There's a lot of things you need to be aware of. Every investigator should have a bit of iron and a bit of palo wood in their car or in their ghost hunting bag, because it's going to be one of the most things that you'll go to get rid of that entity off you quick style. I mean, some of the pouches and things that we get to make, you scrape off a bit of, how can I explain it? Shardings, I think they're called, like shardings. The palo wood, just scrape it. Shardings of your or pickings off of your sage. My sage is up there. Get little bags, iron and things as well. Cigars, heads of matches, the sulphur off them. Get all of that and put it into a mixture. And then just keep it as a little baggie in your car even. And if you feel as if there's anything negative around you before you get in your car and go home, sprinkle some of that on the ground, on your shoes, different places that you think. When you get home, sprinkle on your top doorstep as well. And this will reflect, it'll block out any entities that's trying to get in your home. And remember, be very careful of your wording as well. Like, come on home with me, come speak to me, that type of thing. Because it could be an invite for spirits to go home with you as well. Just be careful of a lot of things like that. Just wee things like that, guys. I'll come on live and I'll just chat to you about. Whenever I get an idea that I could think maybe benefit you or whatever, I'll jump on live and chat to you, okay? Thank you, Amora Sis, for coming along. Poor Amora's waited about 3 hours for this live. I do apologise, sis. And there's Uncle Danny in as well. Hi, Uncle Danny. We were watching Amy's premiere, and I seen your, no, I think it was mine's actually. I can't remember if it was Amy's or my own. I seen it coming up, and I thought, Uncle Danny's got a video out. Where do I go? I'll watch your video next, Uncle Danny, okay? You're next on the list. And everybody's saying hello to you. See, you're loved. There's Stefan. Thank you, sis. I love just coming on and chatting to you all, guys. I don't really have many people that I can chat about my theories to. Wally doesn't want to talk unless it's football or work or... What else does he talk about? Football and work. And thank you, Kathy, for subscribing to me. Guys, welcome Kathy, and she's our new family member. Say hello to Kathy. It is something worth thinking about, Kathy, you know. It's just little thoughts that come into my head, and I want to push them out there to people. I want to debate them with people. Do you think I could be real? What do you think? So it's just to give you an idea, a little bit of something to stew over. You know, everybody remember and subscribe to Uncle Danny as well. He is doing great on his Rebuild channel. He's looking absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's just something to think about, isn't it? It's just a lot of the times I wonder why did, if there wasn't if the entity that originally was there wasn't banished out the area, nothing ever really came to fruition. At 30's drive to say that something happened except for everything just stopping. So what's to say that that's because it achieved its gateway? It then made its gateway up into our world. So that the entity that originally was there, like the monk, he could move on to somewhere else and cause chaos because he's already just now brought that doorway there that will pick on different people that it sees something in, much like Jeepers Creepers. It's just interesting. Some Drewisms. Some more of Drew's theories. Right, okay, guys, I'm going to go just now. And I'll get a wee chat with my sister Dobie. You want a wee chat for a wee half hour, sis? On Messenger. Get a wee catch up. Right, okay, everybody. I subscribe to Uncle Danny, guys. I would try and grab his link. I've got that many screens open here. Let me close a couple down. Let me grab Uncle Daniel's channel. Chasing. We'll do the chasing bonus vectors as well. Chasing butterflies has come up. Chasing bones. And specters. I believe I'm back to my noisy computer. Let me to get Uncle Danny's channel up. The time I do this, I'll probably have his link already there. There's Uncle Danny's main channel, guys. That's his big channel, okay? That's the one that he does all his paranormal stuff on and his shaman stuff and things. And I'll go grab his other one. His wolf rebuild. Where is it? Oh, I know how to get it. I'll get it through my notifications. Also, that helps you click that link. As I've told you, if you do see anybody's links coming in, even if you can't watch them, hit their notification, guys, because it does make a lot of difference to the algorithms. There. If you do hit that link, even if you can't stay, right, Uncle Danny, right, and I'll grab your channel and rebuilds. This is a rebuilds one, guy. This is his one where he's doing. The second one is the one where you'll see the difference between him being in the wheelchair and how he is now, standing and entering a strongman competition. It's amazing, guys, honestly. Thank you. Oh, Deborah, I didn't even see you in. I'm so sorry I didn't see you in, Debbie. Guys, chat, put your link up, Debbie, for your BBR group. Guys, don't go anywhere just now. Debbie puts her link up. Can you get when I'll go grab it? Guys, if you want to be interested in cryptids and things, join BBR. Watch the live streams and things that Debbie and that does. They're amazing, guys, and it does enlighten to you a lot of things that is in Britain that a lot of people don't realise is in our country as well, in the woodlands. Let me just grab our channel, guys, quickly. There's there. Go over and give her a subscribe, guys, please. And also watch, if you really want to be educated on a lot of the things that is in the woodlands is Scotland, England, Wales. I'm not joking, watch BBR. I didn't realise just how many sightings and things there was of werewolves in different cryptid creatures in Britain. I always assumed that these characters, these beings, these entities, whatever you want to call them, was in like other countries, maybe hotter countries, maybe places that had a lot bigger trees, that type of thing. When I was homeless and I was sleeping in the woods, I used to sleep in a big old, it was like an old, it's called the Knock Hill sign, that's what it's called, because it advertised the Knock Hill racing on it. I had a quilt cover and a shawl. The shawl was actually, my granny got it for me when Kerry was born. I had a shawl and my quilt cover. I took that in there with me and that's where I slept. And it was beside the motorway. Anyway, sometimes in the middle of the night or anything, if I couldn't sleep, maybe I was getting freaked out or whatever reason, I would go a walk. Right, I would have to go through the woods to walk back down into the street. So a lot of the times we would jump down into there's like the motorways here. Sorry, the motorways here. Here. The caravan was kind of here. And then you would walk across and go down through the woods. And then there was another street of cars. Jump across that. It's actually the old motorway. But between there, when you're in that woodland, you'd smell like weird smells. And remember, this is first thing in the morning, like 4 or 5 in the morning, guys. But I never ever thought anything. I just thought it'd be skunks or whatever. Until I started talking to Dobby. And Dobby said to me, have you ever seen or heard anything? I'm saying, no, never. And then I thought about my experiences when I was homeless, when I used to walk through the woods and smell crazy smells. And Dobby says a lot of the times that is what it is. And I'm thinking, so maybe, you never know, I could have been sleeping right next to a bloody well werewolf or a Sasquatch or something. Oh dear. What you saying, sis? Drew, I'm looking forward to you get your MSN I sent earlier today. All right, the message. All right, don't bother, sis. I'm sorry. I'll catch up in my messenger, guys, okay? I'll definitely catch up in all my messages and things on Messenger and get back to you all that I've to get back to. Right, okay, guys, I would sit here all night just chatting to you. You know what I'm like. Right, okay, I will go for now and I will see you all soon. I think, I can't remember if I put the live down for tomorrow night on just Facebook. I was going to give Facebook a go to do the tarot readings. I don't know. The last time I tried, when I first tried Facebook to go live doing tarot readings, it didn't go so good. So we'll see. Right, okay, guys, I love yous and leave yous as usual. It's been a pleasure. And as always, I'm humbled that anybody ever comes in to watch me. Thank you, guys. For the bottom of my heart, thank you. Okay. Right, I'll go for now and I will speak to you all soon. Bye. Blessings, guys. Blessings, Uncle Danny. Hope you're okay.